announcements before we get the episode going today. Quick thanks to Lokisenna for supporting us on Patreon. If you guys like the show and like it enough to want to keep it going, consider supporting us on Patreon, like our lovely Lokisenna. We've got some pretty sweet rewards, ranging from early access to episodes and patron-only content like lore and art, to even getting your own NPC in the show. All proceeds are going towards helping us buy new equipment and supporting our SoundCloud. So that last one is at least important. I have a new mic also, so hopefully I won't sound as garbage. You guys left off in the last episode, sort of heading to dinner. This is your, I believe, 4th day in Usin, which is this sort of pirate island. Isn't that a game?
Everything's a game.
Okay.
Life is.
I feel like Pirate Island is copyrighted by something.
There's the secret
exposition.
Okay, I can explain this. There's the secret of Monkey Island, whereas there is a thing called Pirate Island, and I'm not sure if it's copyrighted, but it is very.
Okay, well the island's not called Pirate Island. That's fine. Let's keep going. So Secret of Monkey Island's really good.
Yeah.
How do you people know what this is? I've never heard of this in my life.
Oh my god, Zeke. Stop being bad at video games.
I've never heard of this in my life.
And that's because you're a sweet summer child.
What is the secret?
In the spring of your life.
I'm supposed to be the one who's into obscure things. What is wrong with you people?
Alright, you fucking hipster.
Alright.
Look, okay.
There's a secret of Monkey Island, see?
Is that this new voice?
I'm just okay.
Become a fucking Brooklyn wise guy from the 60s.
No. Let me just.
Let's just in Goodfellas now.
If we're keeping on the Secret of Monkey Island thing, the Lith just sounded like the greasy ship sails.
Fuck, you right.
I still don't even know what this is.
We were writing the exposition. We were like 1 minute into the exposition.
Alright, let's continue.
We're bad at podcasting.
Here's the exposition, say.
Okay.
Stop it, makes me giggle.
Someone's just fucking toking it up in here.
I'm dying right now, guys.
So yeah, you guys left off on the way to dinner. You had gone your separate ways, following Tobias sort of shooing you off. With I don't know what weapon you've chosen to carry around now. You can either carry around, I guess, both of your weapons, the wolf, the bork blade, or is that what we
Bloom
call it?
blade. The bork blade and the bloom blade. What?
Let's start now.
I wrote it down.
Spell it
That's
out.
nice now. I'm
Put it out in the Discord.
Jared, how do you pronounce the name of the Final Fantasy server that we play on?
Balmung, you fucking.
Okay.
Oh my god. Or I guess Balmung if you've got some like weird bad attack that like.
Well, it's originally Celtic, which is cool, but
That's secret sword.
Balmung, that's the name.
Yeah,
of
no,
the
I named one of them the rose rapier and one of them the wolf rapier just so I can keep them straight.
It has a name, and that name is Balmung. So either
Well, now it has a new name, and that name is. Give me a second while I go on to fantasynamegenerator.com.
Steven.
It has a name.
Steven.
It's for the illusions.
I put effort into this name. Research.
Anyway, what happens after we figure out what sword?
That's, that's a bit too bad, Zeke.
Guys.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah. So, Lith, I don't know which weapon you've chosen to take with you. I told you guys that your choices would influence the session. But I don't know.
I guess that I better take the magical one.
I mean, have we had a chance to I guess we have, since it's the next day.
No, it's not quite the next day. You had some time following parting ways with Tobias to sort of situate yourselves. You've got new clothes, you've got, I guess, your weapons all back. so you can choose. You know, are you gonna what weapons are you carrying around? What clothes are you in? You've got the pit fighting clothes, the ones you came in, and I guess pirate gear, which is cool. You're part of the crew now, I guess. So Hugh sort of supplied you with new new gear.
Part of the crew now, see?
Please stop doing that. I don't want this to be a recurring theme.
I think it's too late for that.
Isn't it dinner time? Aren't we starting at
It
2?
is.
Yeah.
It is dinner time now. But you guys have sort of had some time to get yourselves situated and figure out sort of how you're presenting yourselves on this island.
Oh, I'm naming the wolf one Vanril after the dead guy.
Aww.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you carrying a Balmung or Vanril, or both?
If I can have both, I'm taking both.
Well, I mean, like, people will see what you're carrying.
Yes, well, my fighting style is two-weapon fighting, so then if I don't do that, I'm inefficient.
They'll
Alright.
see that you're carrying their captain's former sword, though.
They'll also see that you're carrying a key, and remember what Tobias said.
Then I'll wrap some, like, fucking cloth around the actual thing and just say that it's, part of the guard.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So I guess you're decked out. You're ready to murder someone.
Always. Every day.
People...
And also live.
Well, okay, yeah. People see that you're carrying your Tobias.
Blah, 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 blah.
I just had a seizure. Okay.
With, like, historically and everything, swords themselves were just this massive sign of nobility, and just, like, badass weapons that nobody had. So basically, Lith is carrying the equivalent of 2 howitzers on her hips. Just walking
Yeah.
around.
People actually see that you have Tobias's sword now, and they're sort of parting for you. So that's nice. You've got some cred now.
Sandra's captain
I got
now.
cred.
So yeah, it's dinner time now. I guess if none of you guys did anything, if you want, you could just kind of throw in some flavor of like, oh, here's what I did after we met with Tobias, because it wasn't for a couple of hours after that you guys had to go to dinner.
I mean,
I think that
Icon
me and Icon trained a whole bunch.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Icon at some point most certainly visited his adoring fans because he
Yeah.
loves all of them.
I guess if you're doing that, then Trio's definitely been hanging out with you guys.
My boy.
He's staying very close to Icon. He's sort of
My boy.
he's bonded with you, Jared. Pip's nowhere to
Icon
be
needs
found.
this.
Pip's nowhere to be found. Eventually, though, you guys sort of go your separate ways, and then it's dinner time. The mess hall opens, and sort of these pirates come flooding out of the caves and up this sort of rocky cliff that their sort of island is built around. Up to the mess hall, and I guess things are starting to settle down for the evening. As you guys settle in this mess hall, Pip and Trio approach, and sort of like so they sort of slide into this. I'm having a seizure. Pip and Trio approach you guys at the during dinner and sort of seat themselves across from you guys at one of the tables. I'm assuming you're all sitting together. So yeah, Trio and Pip sort of slide into the table that you guys are sitting at, and Trio waves to Icon. He's just kind of like, hi.
Icon waves back.
Trio waves faster. You guys are sitting like 5 feet apart. He's like waving really enthusiastically at you.
Icon is going to make this a competition. He will wave faster.
Half of you wanted to say roll for that.
I'll
what are
fucking
you
roll
doing?
for it. I can't find my
Alright.
D20, but fucking, like, what would that be? Like a dex?
I don't know. It's a joke roll. I don't think you have to base it off of an actual
Too
stat.
I'm definitely gonna say it's Dex.
Okay. Well, Trio's good in that, so.
You're gonna get fucked.
Trio got a 15.
Sorry, what were we basing it in again? Or is it just
Dex.
a straight roll? Dex? Okay.
For how fast you can wave.
7.
7. Ouch.
I've been beaten.
Okay, Lith
Wow.
joins in on the hand wave.
Oh, no!
16.
Darn it, you outwaved Trio.
Damn right.
Defeated him. He sticks his tongue out at you.
Blue
It's
tongue!
blue. Did I mention that already?
Yeah.
it's
He's got
I
a, little
love it.
a skink tongue. I love him.
My boy.
Trio looks at you guys and goes, "You guys are really good out there. I know we've already talked about it, but you guys are just great. I've never seen anyone take down Tobias that easily." And then he elbows Pip, and Pip grumbles, and he elbows Pip a little harder, and Pip rolls her eyes and looks towards Lith and goes, "Yeah, you guys were really good."
Flex on him, my guy.
No, don't say that to me again, please.
Okay.
Your name's Lith, right?
Yes.
She pouts and considers, and Trio nudges her again, and she goes, "All right. Would you show me a couple of the things that you did out there? I've never seen anyone fight quite like you, and I'm impressed."
Flattery will get you everywhere in life. Of course I will.
Trio leans down and says to Pip, "Told you so." And Pip groans.
Trio, I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Pip rolls her eyes and goes, "How does, maybe, I don't know, morning? 6, maybe, in the morning?"
Okay, can we move that to like a noon 1-ish maybe?
Why? You're not going anywhere.
But then I have to like wake up and it's this whole big thing.
But he who strikes first draws first blood.
You know, I don't really give a shit.
Okay, well, you know what? It's important to train early anyway.
Okay, yeah, fine. 7.
Yeah, see, this guy, Seth, alright, 7 works. This guy gets it. I'll see you there, I'll see you then. And, Pip, sufficiently, like, red in the ears, stands up and sort of quickly shuffles away out of the dining hall.
That was adorable.
Pip is grumpy but nervous. You guys didn't trust her at first.
I didn't distrust her.
I'm pretty sure it was Hugh that we didn't trust.
Hugh is also good.
I didn't distrust. You guys are distrustful of everyone.
Hugh's my daughter.
Y'all
I
need to
mean,
take the
Hugh,
physical hats
like,
off.
didn't let us touch the ball, okay?
I mean, yeah, it was a scrying orb. I mean,
Yeah.
why would we be allowed to touch it? It was meant to monitor us.
Well, you know what? Maybe I just want to touch the ball.
Okay, I mean,
Maybe I just
We all
want
want
to
to
touch
touch the
a few
ball.
a
things.
scrying orb as a fushigi, but that doesn't
Let's
mean that
stop
we should
talking
let
about
him.
the ball.
You guys are like fondling her eyes. Of course she doesn't like it.
Just move on to someone else. I need some time.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of dinner goes somewhat uneventfully, except for, I guess, one thing which is weird. Elisa doesn't show up.
Guys, why is Elisa not here?
I don't know, I guess he got tired of hanging out around me. He doesn't seem to like me a lot.
I don't think he'd abandon Lith and I, at least.
I mean, he doesn't seem to like me very much either. Or at least he never, like, talks to me or anything.
I don't think he likes anyone but you.
Oh.
I feel like you should be the one who knows.
But I spent all day healing people. And then Elisa went off by himself to do... I don't know, said something about screeching.
He's a weird guy. I hope he's, like... I hope he didn't, like, blow out his throat.
You do my boy like this.
I hope you're okay with me saying that.
Maybe it'd be better if he did. That way he can't continuously question me.
I pat Icon on the back. It's okay.
Eh,
Elisa will come around sometime.
probably not, but I guess I'm morally obligated to help us find him.
That's one way to
It'd be a dick
decide.
move if I let him, like, I don't know, get lost. I mean, it is. I mean, not to doubt our pirate friends. They're pretty cool, but I mean, you know, it is an island of pirates. What if he, like, got really drunk or got scurvy or something?
Does Elisa know how to swim?
I mean,
I don't remember, are those scales like fish scales or reptile scales? I
They're like-
totally forget.
They're like snake scales.
No, that was fucking in character, Hike.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. We haven't had to swim yet. He seemed pretty. I mean, I guess next time we're on a boat, we could push him off and see where that goes.
Alright. I don't think we should push Elisa off a boat. We can just ask Elisa.
But then we'd have to find him.
Well,
You usually gotta find someone before you can ask them stuff.
well, then let's find him.
I mean, yeah, I thought that was the initial. Are we not going that direction anyway? All right. Well, let's think. So where? I guess we should look for people who've heard screeching. Screeching is what you said he was doing. It's a weird hobby.
It's probably one of those, like, kind of new age sort of things, you know what I mean?
Maybe he's also a bird.
I mean,
That
like,
would explain the wings as well.
that would.
I mean, I had other suspicions, but like now if he's screeching and he has the wings and he flies away and gets lost places.
She's going through person puberty, that's
Oh my
it.
God, he's going through bird puberty. He just needs time alone.
Well, but what if it's something worse? What if he got drunk and fell in the ocean and couldn't figure out how to
I'm gonna be
swim?
honest, nothing sounds worse than bird puberty. I feel like if I had to choose between getting inebriated and dying in the ocean and bird puberty, I'd be a very dead man.
Icon, are you allergic to anything?
I
Milk.
mean,
Milk.
you really shouldn't give me milk. It's my special time drink, but like I probably shouldn't drink it that much. Makes my tummy hurt.
Note to self: get some powdered milk.
Wow. I'm just trying to be supportive of a brother in arms who's going through a hard time. He's probably noticing all sorts of feathers where there used to not be feathers.
He's checking out those geese a little more than usual.
He's not here to stand up for himself.
No. Podcast canceled, guys.
All I'm saying is, it turns out it was bird puberty, and we wasted our time, and he just wanted to be alone to angst in his nest or whatever.
I mean, it's not like we're even gonna understand this. We're not bird people,
Right?
and he's gonna tell us. So if we go and see him, he's gonna say, You don't understand me. You know how that is.
Oh my gosh. So maybe that's why his legs are so scaly. Maybe that's like the precursor to like the chicken feet. Maybe
I
those are gonna grow in.
Zeke, I hate this.
Oh my god. Usually I love when you guys like just start running within character conversations, but this is going a little further than usual.
Olive
More.
stands up very suddenly and is very clearly upset and goes, "Well, I guess it's up to me to find him if you're so content
just
on
said
bird
we're gonna-
puberty." And she runs off.
Wait, no, we said we'd help. Don't get lost. I don't know what kind of weird puberty you're gonna go into. You turn into animals. There's way too many options.
The only animal she can turn into right now is an elk. Olive grows antlers.
Elk puberty.
Oh god. It's already started. Okay. We need to settle down. We have to find our pre-pubescent bird friend. You know, I thought he looked a little old to not have gone through puberty.
Your
That
aunt
might
sent
not
you
be
a
it.
book by and I
Well, now Olive's alone, running around trying to find Elisa.
Alright, I guess roll me investigation, but with disadvantage, because it's late now. It's getting dark out, so you're not gonna find much.
Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't
Isn't
work.
Olive the only member of our party who doesn't have dark vision?
Yes!
Yeah.
God.
Jesus
Well, I just rolled a 2, so...
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little
It's
bit.
funny because like elf, but like the only elf that doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so she finds nothing.
Yep, there's nothing.
I mean,
Well,
Icon
now-
at least is gonna try and follow shortly after.
Honestly, at this point, you guys are not going to find a whole lot. It's late, late in the evening. The sun's starting to set. Between the glare of the sort of the last rays of the sun on the water, and just how dark it is around Lucin in general, you're not going to find much of anything.
You know, if he is here on the island, he's going through pure bird puberty. We are going to hear that like every 20 seconds.
Maybe he's embarrassed and he's trying to muffle it. Olive seems very concerned. We should find him and find her as well, because we probably shouldn't let her go running off in case she falls into
Oh yeah, she
a
died.
pubescent fit. Yeah, that's the other
I
thing.
am entirely not certain she properly knows how to.
Okay, so Olive...
I don't know. She can turn into an elk. That shit was fucking. Did you see that shit? That shit was awesome, my guy.
It was pretty cool that she turned into an elk, but I don't know if she can actually like take care of herself.
Didn't she like shoot like poison or something at a guy? Like Olive's okay. I mean, I don't think I've seen Elisa attack anything.
Yes, he
I
did.
mean,
In the fight
Is
against
that-
Tobias.
Barely.
so like,
Excuse
unless like he's gonna make some people laugh, which like if he wanted to do that, he could just try slapstick comedy.
So,
That might backfire though.
once Olive
That
figures
might
out that
backfire.
she's lost, she turns into an elk and starts crying.
you. Baby.
She knows that she learned this when she was a kid. She can turn into an
Aw.
elk, and when she starts crying, everybody
And
can
just
hear her.
scream.
Yes.
Big noise off
You
the
hear that?
distance.
It sounds like the miracle of puberty. Let's go. And Icon's gonna rush towards the sound of the cries.
Oh god, I can't believe we're actually doing this. Okay, I follow.
Oh my god.
I grab Icon's shoulder real quick, and I'm just gonna say, do we really want to go into a place where there's two puberties happening?
Listen, I understand. It's gonna be very confusing. They're probably gonna like a lot of really questionable music. But they are still our comrades, and we are dutifully bound to support them and whatever lifestyles they may choose. We just have to make sure that they don't, like, I don't know, think that this isn't a phase or something. If they start, like, doing weird shit with their hair, let me know.
You guys maybe should consider getting some rest, because you're all delirious.
Look, we got 2 hormonal teenagers out there. Rest is the last thing we can do.
I haven't heard.
27!
I haven't heard what happens when Icon and Lith get to Olive.
Yeah,
We find a crying elk.
Okay, so
we should really get started again.
do you guys say something to Olive when you guys see Olive as an elk?
So I guess we weren't wrong on the puberty thing.
Olive turns back into an elf, an Eladrin. There you guys are. I got lost.
Are you okay? Did you trip?
No, I just can't see.
Oh.
Oh, all right. Other people don't. Listen, nighttime's kind of a fuck for me. I mean, it's kind of gray, but otherwise, okay. Just stay. Can you see in this shit?
Yeah, I can see in this shit. It's kind of interesting how it's made such a big deal of, and yet 90% of all humanoid people in the known world can do this. You know?
I mean,
It's almost as if those who cannot are in the minority.
yeah, it's a really weird thing, but we should probably not go into those statistics right now. Olive's kind of crying, so how about we just take her back home and we try and figure some shit out before we, because I mean, like, we can't drag a crying pubescent elk everywhere and find Elisa at the same time. We may as well rest up. That way, if, like, his bird parents came back to get him.
See, and I don't have, like, any sort of, like, torches or lantern or anything, because, I can see.
That's what I'm saying. We should just guide her back home, or I guess
Yeah,
to
but, like,
pirate home, and then, like, we'll
all
start
the
again in
tiny
the morning.
rocks and shit that we've been dodging. She's
Okay,
gonna
just
trip
point
over
that
all
out
of that.
as we walk. I mean, we have mouths. We can communicate.
Olive very upsetly goes,
This,
I'm not going through puberty. I already went through puberty. I'm engaged.
okay, well, one, I didn't know that. Congratulations.
I haven't seen him in years.
Oh, that's
Oh.
really depressing.
And
This is
I
like-
am just gonna point out
like
that it is
really romantic novel type of thing, or like distance makes the heart grow fonder, or what's the dealio here?
It's an arranged marriage.
Oh, okay.
I
That
am
sounds
just gonna point
culturally
out-
complex, so I'm not going to touch that. Lith, what were you saying?
It is possible, and indeed very likely, that prepubescent girl gets an arranged marriage for like the next 6 years. So I'm still not believing you entirely about how not going through puberty.
I'm an Eladrin. We live 500 years.
So we don't know when your puberty is.
I'm 150. I went through
Yeah,
puberty.
and for all we know, it could be at 200. Maybe you grow into your own at the age of 200. You don't know what elves are like.
I went
Listen,
through
look-
puberty 25 years ago.
Okay, look, my point is, it's dark and you can't see, and not being able to see shit is the number one way to get surprised by shit. So we should go. Let's go back to the pirate house, and let's get some rest. We'll start looking in the morning. I mean, I'm sure Elisa probably didn't leave the island. The pirates would have noticed a boat or some shit. Because they're pirates. If they don't notice that, they're really shitty pirates. And these guys seem like pretty competent pirates.
And it is an island, and we have like a 2/3 at least agreement that he's bird, not fish. So
Exactly. And I mean, if he hasn't finished puberty, he can't fly yet. So we're probably good.
Okay.
And I mean, like, when you just get into like the logistics of his flight, like that's got to take a lot of energy. You didn't even show up for
That's
dinner for
He's
din.
not gonna get much farther. He hasn't eaten, and he's a growing boy.
Oh man, what if he's a seabird? He's got the turquoise thing going on. If that's possible.
Shit, then we might be at a disadvantage, because then he could just like swoop up fish as they jump. Have you seen that shit? That shit's crazy.
Olive has a very displeased look on her face. My favorite thing is how Zeke has completely muted himself at this point.
My brother came in the room, and
Oh.
I had to threaten to put him in timeout.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I thought it was because we were talking about
So much puberty going on.
Maybe we should
At
move
least
the
the
pod
olive
and start
here.
talking about puberty for 30 minutes.
Listen, Icon has about 7 times tried to say, let's go home and move the plot along.
As you guys are bickering,
You can just
there's
like
a lot of-
just like on the pillow for like every day for like 3 months.
He's trying to move the plot, you guys.
as you guys are bickering,
I'll there's a word for what I'm going to comply. There we go. I'll
you could have
comply.
just said shut up. Anyway,
Yeah, but that's not a single word. That's two
Sandra?
words and also
Sandra? Sandra.
Listen, I'm fading here. Let's try and get some content produced.
yeah, let's bust through this, guys. As you guys are bickering about whether or not to go inside, you're standing like right next to an entrance into the second level of this pirate place. It's split into 3 levels. There's a lower level, which has like the main hall, along with like a training hall and some baths and stuff. Second level is mostly quarters, and third level is basically just Tobias's little cave. But you guys are close to an entrance to the second level, and the cloth over the entrance sort of parts, and one of the pirates, not one that you know the name of or is really significant, pops their head out and goes, "Would you all shut up?"
Listen, you're a
Sorry about
background
that.
character.
Olive's
What?
bawling and is like, I want to go home.
Hi, listen, I'm sorry about that. We're just kind of concerned. Our friend, where that lot that dueled with Captain Tobias.
Captain.
Well, it's Captain. You have to respect his post. He is
I
an
don't know if
official
these-
authority.
Okay, I think that the pirates are autonomous. I don't think that they have structured hierarchy.
Yes, they do.
They're his crew. Any good unit has a chain of command. I'm not getting into this with you right now. Not the point. Anyway, sir, I apologize. We're just very concerned. Our friend is missing. Did you happen to hear any strange noises other than us, or any screeches? Anything that might have sounded like a pubescent bird?
The pirate just stares at you, and he goes, "Go to bed and move the plot along." And he closes the...
What plot?
What a strange and confused. Is there a plot? There's something. Well, now I don't
Go to
trust any of
bed.
the pirates. We have to sleep here, and they're plotting against us.
Yeah, this sounds a little fishy.
Oh my god. Liv,
Okay, that would be a great joke if we weren't looking for a bird person.
We
Sandra,
are on an island, though.
Sandra, just start pulling Icon and I towards our place where we sleep. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just drag them away.
And then we fade to black. No.
Oh, wow.
It's 40
As
minutes
in
of
time is
beard
passing.
puberty.
Oh my god, it took us 40 minutes to get to this point. Who are we? You guys sleep. I'm just telling you that. No more of this, please. You guys sleep until morning. There's nothing to wake you up, so I guess you guys can wake up on pace. But Lith, you had a meeting with Pip.
So I've been training with Pip since like 7-ish, probably more towards 7:15. You know, fashionably late and all that. I've been trained in the ways of upper society.
Fashionably late is 10 minutes.
I said
Yeah.
close to like 7:15. That can be 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's close. That's close enough to be fashionably late.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
I don't know if Daria's gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, I guess you train with Pip. This halfling is really good. She's a solid fighter. She's matching you blow for blow, I guess. Which sword are you using?
It is absolutely both of them. That's just how I know how to fight the best.
Okay. One thing that you notice with Balmung is that the more you strike, the easier it becomes, I guess. Like, it seems to almost move to block hits on its own, and it remembers sort of the strikes that you've already carried out against Pip. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it is a cool thing.
As you guys finish training, the pit is sort of coming into use again as the day progresses, and you see, as you're leaving, the Narian girl who came in on the ship that Tobias spared for some reason. She's getting ready to go into the pits, and she doesn't look like scared or particularly nervous. She doesn't look ill-prepared. I mean, like, she's determined and she's ready to go for this.
Can I fight her?
Well, these are to the death fights.
Yeah, I know. Can I fight her?
I'm gonna
Listen.
rain check you on that.
She has a record of children to murder. Maybe that's why Lith cares so much about helping find Elisa. Pubescent.
End the menace.
Wow.
No, you pass by her. Her gear looks a little beefier than the gear that you guys got, which sort of implies that she's won a few fights already in this pit. And she sort of looks up at you, and she just kind of scrunches up her nose, and then looks back down to her, I don't know, her prepping.
Yeah, fuck you too. Hope you stub your toe.
There was an NPC that was described as looking like her. That's a pirate.
Yeah. Well, she has won a few fights, and the sort of requirement for being set free, I guess, around here is winning fights. So I would say it's probably safe to assume that just from what she's wearing and just how ready she looks for this, that this is it's a choice that she's here. She's not being made to pit fight anymore. So this is her jam. This is her jam now. One thing I guess that you notice also is that she's unarmed. She's gonna go into these pit fights completely unarmed.
How muscly is she?
Not very. She's like a child. She's not like Jessie Graff or anything. She's like small
Like-
girl.
She uses her teeth.
Is she under 12?
No. I'd say maybe she's like 16 or 17.
Oh, okay. So you have to stop making people that are almost adults sound like they're like fucking
Yeah.
11, because you're going to make Sandra just kill every NPC you introduce.
12 below has to go.
I've met some adults that look like they could pass for like 5-year-olds.
Okay, apparently.
I have a friend who is like a few weeks older than me, and she is like 5 foot nothing.
5 foot nothing.
Like she's
Well,
tiny.
Tangent.
When I went to go meet other Rachel for this mic that I'm using now, she was so short. She's like 4'8".
I feel
We're on a
like
She's so itty bitty. Anyway, yeah,
So she's
So I guess you-
unarmed.
she's unarmed. She's in sort of tougher armor than you guys had. She pushes past you, sort of bumps Lith with her shoulder as she goes past.
Oh,
Um,
bitch.
and goes into the pit behind you guys as you and Pip are leaving. And you hear the crowd start to cheer.
Like, we sub
just-
both your toes.
You mean all 10 of them?
No, like both of the big toes. You know? There you
She
go.
looks back over
The
her
little
shoulder.
toes are the bad ones to stop.
She looks back over her shoulder and she double flips you the bird, and then the iron bars between the prep room and the pit sort of slide shut.
You know, pinky toes too.
Are you gonna watch her, or are you gonna storm off?
I mean, it sounds like it'd be like I kind of want to watch her just to hope that she fails and or stubs her toes.
I'll roll for toe stubs if you watch.
Roll, please, please do. I would like to see some roll for toe stubs.
All right. Oh yeah, she stubs a toe.
Hell yeah!
That's the
Uh,
lip curse.
She's up. The door on the other end of this pit opens, and there's this like beefcake of a dude with two long daggers.
Beefcake.
Well, I don't know how else to describe him.
You could just describe
He's
him
very
as a
musty.
man,
Yeah.
well
You don't have
built,
to use
large
the word
frame.
beefcake.
May as well have just been like Daddy McStudmuffin walks into the
Well, to be fair, I was envisioning this NPC kind of like He-Man.
So
It's the
just
same
like
hair.
a hunkish twink.
It's a twunk.
Excuse you a twat.
No. He definitely does not meet twunk. I will
Alright, I
I
hate
will
us. Alright.
argue the semantics of gay He-Man.
He-Man is a twunk. All right. No. So, this girl, she waits for this large He-Man sort of dude, to strike first, and she just kind of steps out of the way of his strike. And he goes for it again, and she steps out of the way again. And just time and time again, he tries to hit her, and she just moves out of the way. Almost like sort of water parting, I don't know, like if you ran your hand through sort of running water and it just kind of went around you. She pulls a small object that looks like a nut from her pouch, pops it in her mouth.
Slams button.
No. She pops it in her mouth and she vanishes. The cage over the top of the pit rattles slightly a couple seconds later, and without warning, she suddenly becomes visible again and drops down from the top of the cage onto this man's shoulders. Without seemingly any effort at all, she just reaches down and pulls one of his daggers from his hands and stabs him all the way through with it. And he just falls. The crowd goes absolutely nuts, and the gate between you two opens again, and she just darts through it. And that's it. It is the quickest fight, let alone pit fight, that you've probably ever seen.
I could dig her.
Are you saying this aloud, or?
Yeah, I'm like saying this like icon here or something.
Is Icon even there?
I didn't
I
know
don't know if
Icon
Icon's
was
even
here.
You're so used to Icon being right there.
Yeah,
I
I'm used
thought-
to Icon being like my buddy.
Yeah,
Aw.
but Pip doesn't seem to like anyone.
Okay, yeah,
Aside
then I
from, like,
say it to
Lit.
Pip.
Pip is grimacing. Pip's like, I don't know. I don't know.
I think so. Feeling pretty good about it.
I don't know. Really, I couldn't tell you. maybe you'll get a chance to, but
Yeah, I hope so. I'll pre-stub her toes.
okay, you do that.
Well,
And I guess Pip just sort of starts shooing you out of the room.
So
that's fair.
Olive woke up about 8ish and just sort of sat next to Icon's bed if he's still sleeping in his bed at 8.
Just
Are
watching
you
him
kidding
sleep.
me? Icon wakes up at like the crack of dawn every morning, and he stretches and maintains his gear.
Alright, so where is Icon at 8?
If he's not back in the room, like just going over like his general writings and journal and whatnot, he's probably having breakfast.
Alright, where is he?
I guess probably having breakfast.
Yeah, okay, Olive is having breakfast with Icon.
All right. That would be dinner is held in sort of the big mess hall at the top of the island, but then breakfast and lunch, I guess, and other snacks are had sort of in the main hall down on the first level. So I guess you guys are down there enjoying some breakfast. There's nobody around that you really recognize. It's early in the morning, pirates are out doing their thing. There doesn't seem to be anything special going on today other than sort of usual for these guys. One more thing, though. Alisa still hasn't shown up.
Icon? I know you think it's bird puberty, but I don't think it's bird puberty. And I think we need to go
even if
find
it's bird
Alisa.
puberty, I agree, we have to find him. And it's a very troubling time for him emotionally.
Should-
So,
Should
I
we
mean-
ask people if they've heard some screeching recently?
yeah, I plan on continuing that after that really weird, ominous asshole last night was, like, really unhelpful. Really, fuck that guy. But anyway, no, I plan on
Wait.
continuing along that line.
Is that guy in the in our general vicinity, like eating or something?
Yes.
I'm
Yes, he is.
going to slowly walk over to him and I'm gonna say screech in his ear.
He jumps, and on reflex, he goes to punch you in the face.
Oh.
He misses, though.
Okay.
Or I guess he sees you, recognizes you, and stops his fist right before it collides with you, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Well, you said something about the plot, and we were wondering where our friend is, but you never answered if you had heard screeches last night.
No, I hadn't.
Okay. What is this
I don't
plot
know
then?
what you're talking. I don't know. I don't recall even getting out of bed last night. Who are you?
Buddy, you have a drinking problem.
Maybe I do. That's none of your business.
We
Olive
can get you the help that you need.
Olive pulls out a herb and she hands it to him and she goes, "This will keep your liver alive for a little longer," and walks away.
Herb.
You guys just roasted this poor dude.
Icon's definitely gonna hold out like a low key low 5 for Olive.
Olive takes the low 5.
Fucking savage, my dude.
I'm just taught to help people, and if he has a drinking problem, then we need to make sure that he's alive in 5 years.
You just helped his ass into an early grave. You just fucking savaged that guy. Holy shit.
What early grave? I thought I helped him live longer.
Oh my god, you don't even realize what you just did. You just verbally, like, ripped off his testicles in front of the entire room.
Olive, like, okay.
Absolutely astounding.
Please find my son.
I like, Olive cocks her head and goes, "Testicles?"
Let's move on.
Okay, maybe you are still in puberty. Let's just move forward here. Okay.
Olive is very
Probably
shocked.
getting lit. Because as much as she's probably going to agree with me on the bird puberty thing and not want to look because it's before like 4 in the afternoon,
The more people we have looking and asking, the better. So let's go find Lith. I think she should still be down by the training area with Pip, unless, they decided to stop training early, in which case I'm probably going to have to yell at them because that's bad training. And they have to make sure they're in tip-top shape, because
Alright.
you never know.
Alright. Let's go find Lith and ask people on the way.
That sounds like a good plan. Do they see anyone while they walk to the training grounds?
Oh yeah, well they see plenty of people, but I guess no matter who they ask, no one is heard screeching. You're asking kind of a vague, nebulous, and ominous
Well,
question.
they're also asking, like, have you seen Alisa, the fucking scaled boy that was in the fight pit with us? The big spectacle where we fought your captain. Do you recognize one of the very recognizable people that was a part of that? Have you seen him at all? Like, that's a much less nebulous question. That's kind of the exact opposite of a nebulous question.
All right, it's still on those. Nobody's seen Alisa.
Hey,
Let's
Lith.
continue.
Lith.
Yes, but
what
it
you
is
doing?
currently. I watched some bitch stub her toe.
Oh, why don't you learn her name first before you call her a dog?
Nah, she's a bitch.
Okay. Well, at least learn her name before you buy her a drink or try to kill her in a pit fight. I'd see through you. And I just
Damn.
pat Lith on the back
Jesus
and like
Christ.
I pat Lith on the back and
Olive is not having anyone shit today.
Yeah, like.
Olive is upset.
That was
We should
right.
find Alisa.
Damn.
Yeah, Olive's gonna.
Olive's a lot nicer with Bird Boy around.
Yeah, actually, Olive's stressed, and this is how Olive gets when she's stressed.
Aww. I love her.
As you guys sort of meet up again this morning, I guess it's maybe like 8:30. A familiar face appears. It is Trio.
My boy.
I love how just saying Trio's name can get gasps from you guys.
I love him.
Yeah,
I like Trio more than I like myself, okay? I mean, that's not a
Oh.
high bar, but still.
You're also
Trio,
like on pain meds.
Trio appears and
The audience
sort of
can't know.
beckons you guys down the hallway, and he goes, you three, and Pip come too. Captain wants to see you.
Is something wrong?
No, but you're all making a fuss.
Oh, yeah, that's probably about Bird Boy. Okay, yeah, no, not a problem. I mean, Pip wasn't making a fuss. Why does Pip have to come? No offense, Pip. You can come if you want. I mean, I don't want you to get in trouble for our fussiness here.
Oh, none taken. None taken at all.
Olive just goes, well, at least we'll see an actual bird now.
I mean, he's a Kenku. You don't need to be racist.
Says the one talking about bird puberty.
I mean, yeah, because we don't know. Maybe he's just like a legitimate bird. Until
Trio
All
slides
of
up
there's
and just puts a hand.
ignorance, and then there's maliciousness, and you cross the line.
You know what? Let's just continue.
Trio puts a hand over Icon's mouth.
Hey, baby. Okay, leave me.
He removes his hand and leads the way down the hallway, and then he takes he doesn't go the way that you'd expect. He sort of turns left out this hallway away from sort of the mess hall, the training area, and down this hallway you guys follow it until you find sort of the port, which is this big cave shrouded in mist, and there's a ton of ships in it. He leads you around the edge of the port here and into a series of other tunnels filled with false walls and a lot of dead ends. He leads you through this maze that you've been through once before already, and after a while of following Trio, you guys make it to the top of this pirate city, I guess. And waiting in his chambers is the captain, Captain Tobias. He looks better than he did after you kicked his butt. And there is someone in the room with him. They are a tabaxi, sort of gray in pirate gear. And Captain Tobias sort of waves you guys over and goes, sit. Have a seat.
I mean, okay, no harm in it.
Icon has a seat, it's no problem.
Yeah, yeah.
I've heard that you're causing paranoia. Bit of a ruffling feathers.
Olive's very just.
I'm not sure what kind of paranoia we'd be spreading. We're literally just looking for our friend. He went missing.
I know, but we're on an island?
Possibly
Nobody
going
goes-
on a very hormonal journey right now.
Well, we don't think like anyone like did anything bad to him. We just think he might have like gotten drunk and fallen in the water, or like he's just like having an emotional time right now and he's just like hiding. So we were just looking to see if anyone's like seen like
He
any
told
show of him.
he told me he
Icon.
was going to Screech.
Icon, would
Yeah.
you do me a favor?
Depends on the favor.
Shut up.
A lot of people ask for that one. You're gonna have to get in line, but I mean, I guess it could happen. I'm just saying, I don't see what, like, we're literally just asking well-meaning questions. If people are getting all uppity about the concept of a person not being where we last looked for them, they probably need to, like, relax a little.
The tabaxi is giving him a look.
Olive
Okay,
sticks
so-
her wand in his mouth. Please be
So,
quiet.
Icon,
Look,
shut up now.
I
What
need
was the
you.
name of the one Narian girl? Because I want to like, I'm gonna call her Bitch McStubtoe right now, and I feel it's not actually her.
Are you asking this in character?
Oh yes,
Her name is Marion.
Mary.
One of the best fighters that we've had in a long time.
Move on and find it. It's whatever. Okay, Marion. Just move on.
Look, people are getting nervous. Very, very nervous. This is an island. People don't just go missing. It's difficult to go missing on an
Clearly, that is up for debate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that hard. Elisa did it pretty well.
island. We've been out here for 4 years. Never lost anyone. We're a crew, we're family. You're here for 5 days and you lose someone. People are starting to talk, and the last thing I need is talking right now. Very last thing I need. Like, bottom of the list of things I need. You're not helping.
This is
You're
why I
resisting.
have a wand in Icon's mouth at this point.
I'm not fine. I don't know why it's our problem that this kid's been missing. I'm just, like, we're literally just trying to help find him. This thing's
And-
Can you pick it out of the roof, please?
No.
You know, I think you need to go through some sort of vetting process with your crew here, because I mean, like, clearly you can't like trust them with any sort of information.
Refugees.
Tobias? Is it okay to ask
Yes.
you? Can we ask you if you know anything?
I don't know a thing. I'm just as in the dark as you. I'm nervous.
No, Olive is starting to feel sick.
Oh no.
But I have taken the liberty of assigning personal guards, I guess. Trio and Pip will help. They are two of my most trusted crew members. And Fish here,
She gives a little bow.
one of my personal favorites. Always trustworthy and quite perceptive.
Who's stuck with you?
What? I'm just saying the truth. Don't like it?
Olive's hand is twitching.
What?
Olive's hand is twitching.
Why?
'Cause cat.
Can you please get this out of my mouth?
No.
It's too funny.
Anyway, you're to stay with them at all times. Don't leave the sight of one another. We'll figure out where he went. But if something is going on this island that I don't know about, then I need to keep the three of you, ideally the four of you, safe at all costs. Do you understand?
Oh, that one.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I understand. So it's really hard to communicate, you know, because I shit through my mouth.
What?
I take the wand out of his mouth.
I said I understand, jeez.
Oh. Oh.
Olive takes out a like leaf and starts using it to clean and sanitize her.
Oh, don't act like you're the one who should be offended by that. I just had something shoved in my mouth and tasted funny.
Should have shoved it in father.
It's a U wand.
Okay, I don't care if it's an L wand. I don't want it in my mouth.
U as in YEW.
U is for you and me.
You can't spell
That
a letter
is
with
right.
other letters. What are you doing?
It's a
Let
type
it be
of wood.
said. Kant doesn't know shit about wood. What? No, it's a letter. Just don't shove things in my mouth. That would be the ideal way to solve this.
Olive pouts.
Tobias pinches the bridge of his nose and shakes his head.
Does he have a bridge of his nose? I thought he was a bird.
Bridge of his beak.
Yeah, bird.
He pinches the bridge of his beak.
Isn't it like
That's
right
nice.
next to his forehead, like a centimeter from his
You guys
forehead?
are going way into the bird.
Yeah,
Anatomy
please, what is with you
semantics.
people?
Yeah.
I just thought that the furry here would know more about it.
I mean, he can pinch the bridge of his beak. I mean, like, beaks come to a, like, top. They have a top. That's a thing that you can do. It's not exactly their nostrils, but it's there.
Anyway.
So on this episode of Bird Anatomy, we play D&D.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this in.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
He, waves you guys off and just says, don't cause more trouble, please.
We will
Okay.
do our best.
Do I follow them?
Oh yeah, no promises whatsoever.
Okay, he's sending Fish with these guys.
Can I at least hand out this herb that I have that fixes liver problems to your crewmates that have issues?
Tobias cants his head and blinks, and he's like, sure.
Alright.
Sorry, she just fucking roasted some dude because he's an alcoholic, and it was pretty great. You missed it. It was hilarious. Like, I'm just saying, if I was the guy, I would have like killed myself because like I don't know how he's gonna live after this.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Yeah, Tobias waves you guys off.
Immediately once they get out, Olive's gonna start, like, walking in a direction.
In a direction?
In a direction. She's
That's
gonna go
almost
right.
look for, like, isolated areas.
I guess I'll follow her then.
Olive can't hold back anymore if a cat follows her.
Well, I gotta follow her.
I know. I know.
Hold back what?
I'm wondering if it's like sneezing or petting. It's like one of the two.
It's one of
Um,
those, yeah.
Mr. Fish, was it?
I'm a girl.
Miss Fish?
Yeah?
Do you like being scratched behind the ears?
She kind of gives her a look.
I nailed it!
That's racist.
I mean, I won't say no.
Okay. I had...
Kinda moves a little closer.
Olive starts scratching Fish behind the ears.
Oh, that feels nice.
Why doesn't anybody ever scratch Tavo?
I miss scratching my cat back home behind the ears.
Oh.
I guess that's not racist.
You're just so soft and fluffy.
I guess that's not racist.
If I were a tabaxi, I'd be pretty offended.
Yeah,
I'm-
really.
I'm going with what Olive would do.
Versus, getting grumpy.
Olive's just doing this because Olive's like, cat.
Uh-huh.
That's an Olive thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess you guys are, on your own again, but this time each one of you has, a guard. There's Pip, there's Trio, and there's Fish. I have a pretty good guess of who's gonna claim who, but...
Yeah, I don't think we even need to go over this.
I mean, Icon's probably gonna just, like, also set off in a seemingly random direction, but he's gonna, like, try and specifically talk to, like, Trio and be like, are there any places... Or let me get into a voice, hold on. Sorry, I'm forgetting that. Voices. Alright, so are there any, like, places that people, like, tend to go when they just kind of want some quiet, some alone time, you know? I know there's a lot of you guys, so, like... I mean, it's probably got to get a little overwhelming at some point. I'm just trying to see if maybe we find anything of Oasis there.
Trio thinks for a moment, and then he goes, well, there's a few places that I would go. People usually stay away from underneath the rib cage. It's almost like the fog. The fog is thick there. So people wander in there if they want spare time. There's the crow's nest at the top of the island, but that's usually got a guard in it.
He is a bird.
So we could try there if you want.
No, you know what? Let's try that rib cage place. I feel like that's just ominous enough that the angst of pubescence would draw Alisa to it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he's going through puberty right now, so we think he just wants alone time. I
By
think
the-
that's the prevailing theory.
Trio nods, I guess, a little thoughtfully, and he's like, "Yeah, all right, okay. Here, this way." And he takes Icon's hand and sort of pulls him out of the caves and out into the open. The fog, I guess, is really thin today. It's sort of midday, I guess, at this point. And he leads you sort of up the mountain and into this huge, empty space underneath the skeletal remains of this giant serpent. Takes maybe 10-15 minutes to climb up to that point. The cliffs, I guess, are sort of steep, jagged, but they're secluded, and the air smells a little funny under here.
So does it, like, always smell like this up here? Or...
The closer you get to the bones, I guess, the more it starts to smell.
Gross.
Well, I mean, like, it was a big dead thing at one point with flesh that rotted away.
Oh no, I get it. That doesn't make it less gross, though. Like, understand.
Yeah, of course.
It's still
Yeah.
gross. You get it.
Oh, I get it. I mean, I've lived here for 4 years.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a while, but, you don't really have anywhere else to go. That's what most of the people here sort of think.
I feel you there, buddy. I mean, probably not the specific circumstances, but like, I feel you, man.
What, where did you get cast out of?
So it's some crazy shit, right? So I don't remember the semantics of it, but one day I just kind of woke up and I was with the others and we were in this clearing, and we didn't remember why we were there. I just remembered, like, who I am, and who I am is I was a soldier for Renard.
Oh.
Yeah, I understand now why that's not cool. Like, I didn't get it back then, I was just like this young kid who had nothing else to live for, and they, being a soldier offered me a lot of opportunities. And I took it.
I get it. I understand.
And then, I earned myself a fancy badge. I was an officer. They gave me, like, lots of cool stuff. And then after waking up with the others, we followed this weird, like, I guess it's a spirit? I don't know. It was really weird. But we followed it, and it led us essentially back to Renard. And the Queen of Renard was like, kill those dudes. And we were like, fuck, we're those dudes. So, it was like...
Laughs.
It was like we either had to, fight back or die. And I mean, I don't know. It's rough. It's like, Renard never felt like home to me. I was always, I was born and lived out in the wastes. I never lived in the capital. But, like, I spent so long fighting besides these guys, and at the end I had to, I had to draw steel against them, and it's fucked up, it's just really hard to
He puts
understand.
a hand on your shoulder.
I don't know. It makes me. It's gonna sound fucked up if I say it makes me glad I've met other people who feel like they don't have elsewhere to be, because, like, you guys are cool dudes. You shouldn't go through shit like this. I really like all of you guys. You're my guy, but, like, it feels a lot less lonely knowing I'm not the only one out here who had to give away a home.
He just nods and goes,
Fuck, I'm sorry. That was, like, really heavy. Let's find Bird Boy.
It's fine. It's fine. I understand, well, not quite how you feel. Most of us in Nadrian didn't understand quite how overbearing or oppressive the Narian Empire could be. Most of us thought it wouldn't be bad at all if they came in, and we were wrong and we paid for a mistake. I understand how it is to be misled by them.
It's just like, I thought I was doing something really good, they always made it out to be like these great victories that me and my boys would go out and win, the men and women that I protected and who protected me, they made us out to be like this great, class of soldiers. And then, one day that just turns on me, and all of a sudden it's pulled out from under me, and I'm not seeing it as I'm protecting the borders of the waste and the steppe, or I'm not patrolling the wall and trying to protect what I have. It becomes, this imperialist, this encroaching hunger for more and more, and I have to think, like, what the fuck did I do? Like, I was told that this was the right thing to do, but You know,
Jared?
could I have known? Fuck. We're getting
Jared?
off topic again.
Jared?
Yeah.
Make me a
Yeah.
dexterity saving throw.
Jesus Christ. Alright, let me just click on it, because typing that's not gonna go well right now. Fuck. That makes sense. Icon's literally, like, tearing his own heart out here.
6.
I feel like
As you
it's.
guys-
Go ahead.
As
Sorry.
you guys walk through this mist, I guess, Icon stubs his toe and trips and falls flat on his face.
Ow!
As you look back at what you tripped over, you see probably the very last thing that you wish you would have seen. There's a body made of stone, completely petrified all the way through, and from its ears, its eyes, its mouth, its face, which is frozen in some sort of horrified expression from all over this thing's body. There are plants growing, some of which I guess you recognize as various toxic varieties of different
Icon would not
herbs and such.
recognize that.
Well, all right.
I'm
well,
gonna
I mean,
level with you.
Olive
beginners-
wood.
beginners level.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
like some like super obvious like fucking like nightshade
yeah.
type shit. Okay.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh boy.
If it weren't for this petrified figure's clothes, you wouldn't recognize it. You've just tripped over the petrified body of Elasa.